Who are the greatest Premier League players ever by position? That's what one of us is going to determine. And as the one with the sheets, it's not going to be me. You are in the hot seat today. You are going to be giving your opinions, all of which we will come into. But before we get into that, welcome back to the TCF Sport Podcast. My name is Ben, as ever, joined by Brexit Steve. Been a while since you did that.
It's been a while since I heard that, yeah. So now you're doing it now, people can see my face.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, exactly that.
Lovely. So now I can get lynched, thank you.
No, not at all. For anyone that wants to know, go back to one of the first episodes on the on Spotify and you'll find out. It's been a while since
Also
we used
available
that.
on Apple.
Yeah, exactly.
You've probably pulled my pants down today, haven't you?
Have I really?
Yeah.
In what way? Just with that or with the whole podcast
Twice!
idea?
Twice! With that, and
Don't worry, we'll come into it.
Yeah. We're going to do a top 10 podcast, Steve. That's what the agenda is this weekend.
I would have done a top 10 podcast had I planned it more in advance, because I was thinking top 10 Premier League goals, but to do top 10 Premier League goals, I need to sit down and watch many Premier League goals, which obviously I'm not opposed to, but it's just finding the time.
Yeah.
And obviously I have to send them to you as well, and you have to find the time, and it was short notice based on
I mean, it's difficult for me around work.
Exactly.
Not your excuses.
Oh, is that meow feisty?
How is work going since you got back from your around the world trip?
I've been around the world. That's fine. I would make that decision a million times over.
I'm just kidding.
I'm joking. But that is so. Those ideas, the top tens, will come as soon as we got more time in the future. I mean, there is an international break next weekend, so it's a good shout for something like that. This idea, though, as I messaged you, came from. So you remember when we went to play table football for Dad's birthday on the tube journey back?
The Alzheimer's hasn't kicked in yet, mate.
But we just.
Who are you? What am I doing?
I don't know. What podcast are we? I'm joking.
What's podcast?
Well, we just, I don't even know how it came about. We just started naming like title winning sides, but going player by player. I'd give you and Dad a comparison to like Jens Lehmann and Fabian Barthez to compare two title winning, and you'd give who was better. It's based on that, but instead we're going to go position by position, and you're basically just going to say who you think is the better player, leading overall to who you think are the best Premier League players in those positions. We'll come to all of that again. I'll explain it before we go through each position. What I wanted to do first, though, one talking point from the weekend is Wolves lost again. 1 point from 7.
Yeah.
How much pressure do you think Gary O'Neill is under?
I think he's under pressure to change the goalie. I've not seen the highlights, but I know he lost. We said about losing Kilman as well.
Yeah.
And that's big.
And Pedro Neto, and they haven't really replaced them.
But I'm thinking more from the defensive side of things.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you lost your main centre-half, and you thought your first choice goalie was leaving, but he's not. Unless he's going in January, it won't be much longer until he's going in. I'm not saying that it's the keeper's fault, because I haven't seen the highlights, but
I mean, we
put two and two together. It's obviously different, isn't it?
We raised the question before, because it's also the relationships that. Again, I only saw a clip of Sam Johnson on the Ben Foster podcast the other day, him saying that when his first game was about 2 days after he signed, he didn't even know like all the players' names. Yeah. So it's those relationships that you haven't built up.
Who did Wolves play last week as well? Because there was one I thought he should have done better. I'm not sure if it was the Liverpool goal where the ball came straight at him. I mean, it bounced in front of him, but I think Sarr maybe would have saved it. I think it's that game.
No,
I could be
he
wrong.
should have done better, because he made a really good save from Szoboszlai from like 6 yards out, and then conceded not long after that I think you got a hand to it, like you say, and
it was sort of right down the middle, and I thought it was a little. If you're being really harsh, you'd be like, should be doing better.
And obviously, not pinning everything on him, because it is the overall team, the whole team. Just looking into it. I mean, I said before, obviously they have had a really difficult start, and some of the games that I've seen them play, I think they deserved more than what their performances ultimately got them, which is so far obviously only 1 point across 7 games, but. The maddest statistic for me, when I was just doing a little bit of research before we started the podcast, they've conceded 21 goals so far, which is more than Sheffield United at the same stage last season. Bearing in mind, Sheffield United at the same stage last season had already lost 8-0 to Newcastle. It's quite damning, that.
Yeah, they've shipped quite a few goals.
And obviously Wolves fans aren't exactly overly enamoured at the moment, because they were singing yesterday, "You don't know what you're doing," to Gary O'Neill during the Brentford game when he made one of his substitutions. It's
Fans are fickle. I think once they get a run going, they should be all right. And like you say, they've got City next. After that, then you need to start picking up.
just depends if he's going to be in charge, though.
But they don't look like they're playing poorly.
No.
But it's the defense. Like, they scored 3 at Brentford yesterday.
Yeah.
But conceded 5. So
Defensively all over the place.
And like I say, main centre half and change a goalkeeper.
Yeah. It did make me think, though. I was sitting there thinking, Charlie Nicholas Mask, when I was watching that game on Match of the Day, because it was first, I caught that this morning. If Gary O'Neill is sacked over the international break, does a new manager come in and then start playing Jose Sarr again? That's the only interesting one to me.
Potentially.
We'll see.
I mean, you don't know what... Sarr was obviously going to leave. That's why they brought Johnson in.
Yeah.
Even with that, though, that was close to deadline day, wasn't it? All that going on.
Yeah.
So that's not ideal. I mean, was Johnson his first choice? You don't know.
No, I think Ramsdale was their first choice because they wanted Ramsdale from quite a while ago. But financial rules. I
mean, Ramsdale probably wanted to go back to the South Coast then, I'm guessing. But
I don't think Wolves would have paid the fee that Arsenal they wanted an initial loan but no obligation to buy, I think.
Okay.
And Arsenal just wanted to sell him.
Well, we'd have stayed up at Wolves, Ramsdale. He's not staying up at...
Southampton.
No.
Have you seen any of the interview that he did with BBC, by the way?
I've not seen any of the football yet. No,
that's fine. I'll send you.
I saw a little bit that he was overwhelmed.
Quite interesting
by the fans' reaction.
Oh yes, I think with everyone. Just subtle facial reactions there. Yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Let's come to the main focus of this podcast.
Yeah, doing my legs. You can give your opinion.
Doing your legs.
Now we're doing this. You can give your opinion and be slated.
The way it works.
How he picked him over him. Like, Stu knows nothing. Well, I don't know anything, but
we're not getting into. I'm not asking like intricate questions. I'm not asking you to give me why you think players are better than players. All I'm going to do, in exactly the same way we did on that tube journey home, is I'm going to name a player compared to a player, and you just have to give me your opinion on who you think is better. Yeah. Not based on numbers, not based on anything else, based your opinion on its own, on their ability.
I know.
Yeah.
But this is a football fans podcast, right?
Yeah.
Whichever way I give, I'm going to be wrong.
I know. And obviously...
And I go back to the previous episode. It is just an opinion.
Yeah.
It's not a fact. But... You've done my legs.
Yeah, that's what happens when
you knew exactly what you were doing.
That's what happens when it's your podcast, isn't it? It's my podcast.
Well, don't worry. There'll be a turn where you have to do it.
That's fine.
Surely there's going to be an episode where you have to do it. You can't just sit there on the fence, Jeremy.
I'm fine to give my opinions, only because the way it works, it's better if we just list all the goalkeepers. I don't need to explain it, but yeah, it's better exactly this way. But it does mean though that all the clips that I'll be producing as a result of this, I'm looking forward to the comments. It's just a good job that you're not on social media anymore, because
well, I don't check it. I don't log into
true.
It. So yeah, I could do without the death threats.
Honestly, it's amazing what.
I can't believe you picked Sonogo over Van Nistelrooy. I'm gonna.
Right, position by position. Like I said, all you have to do, I'm going to give you a couple of names. You say who you think is the better player, and it will ultimately lead to who you think is the best player to have played in the Premier League in that position. Okay?
Okay.
So starting with goalkeepers, I've included quite a wide range, and those that I name at the start, just a caveat, I don't think are the best players in those positions, but it also raises interesting comparisons about who you think is better in general. Okay? So, starting with goalkeepers, Jordan Pickford or David Raya?
Raya.
David Raya or Brad Friedel? I thought this was going to be a short episode, but we're going to be here for quite a while.
Yeah, but you can edit it. Raya, he plays for a top club. Friedel played for Spurs.
David Raya or Tim Howard?
Raya.
David Raya or David James?
Oh, please, Raya.
David Raya or Shay Given?
Given.
Shay Given or Kasper Schmeichel?
Given.
Shay Given or Hugo Lloris?
Given.
Shay Given or Emi Martinez?
Given.
Shay Given or Joe Hart?
Joe Hart.
Joe Hart or Pepe Reina?
Reina.
Pepe Reina or Thibaut Courtois?
Courtois.
Thibaut Courtois, David De Gea?
Courtois.
Thibaut Courtois or Ederson?
Courtois.
I should say that this is based on Premier League form only, okay? As much as... I mean, he was really good for Chelsea, and that's fine if you stick with your opinion, but I should have said that at the start. Premier League form only, okay? For going forwards.
I mean, Courtois was only in the Premier League for a couple of seasons, but...
He did win it as well, so...
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're saying Premier
League... He
League...
won it twice, didn't he? He won it with Mourinho and then with Conte.
Yeah. See, I just think... I know people be like, oh, he's a goalkeeper who can't play with his ball with his feet. I'll stick with Courtois.
Yeah. That was Courtois and De Gea, you went with Courtois. Courtois and Edison, you went with Courtois.
Yeah.
Courtois, Alisson.
Courtois.
Courtois or Jens Lehmann?
Courtois.
Courtois or David Seaman?
Courtois.
Courtois, Edwin van der Sar.
Van der Sar.
Van der Sar, Petr Cech.
Van der Sar.
Van der Sar or Peter Schmeichel?
Van der Sar.
Really? Ooh! Interesting. That's a very...
Who are you, Christoph Waltz? Oh, that's a bingo!
I don't know where that came from.
Bloody hell, Ben.
I'm just excited. That's all. Honestly, I don't know where that came from.
This podcast is about 90% of us just laughing at each other's BS. That's okay.
I thought you were going to be the one getting ripped on social media for you. What's happened to you? What's happened?
Sorry. Jesus. Oh, you caught me out there.
Well, all I know is it's definitely not being edited.
Oh.
I don't know where that
sorry about your
noise
floor.
came from. That's right.
You caught me out there. Oh dear.
Shall we move on? So you say Edwin van der Sar is the best Premier League goalkeeper of all time. To that.
Based on that 50-50 that you've given me, yeah.
Okay, right backs. Reece James or Kieran Trippier?
Trippier.
Trippier or Paulo Ferreira?
Ferreira.
Ferreira or Wes Brown?
Ferreira.
Ferreira or John O'Shea?
John O'Shea was more centre half, wasn't he?
Played right back when he nutmegged Figo.
Ferreira, but that wasn't in the Premier League, so I can't.
Fair enough. Ferreira or Branislav Ivanovic?
Ivanovic.
Ivanovic or Lee Dixon?
Ivanovic.
Ivanovic or Pablo Zabaleta?
Zabaleta.
Zabaleta or Cesar Azpilicueta?
Dave.
Zabaleta.
Zabaleta.
Zabaleta or Lauren?
Oh, my bias has still come through. Sorry, Lauren.
Lauren or Kyle Walker?
Lauren.
Lauren or Trent Alexander-Arnold?
Lauren.
Lauren or Gary Neville?
Lauren.
It's bias coming through strong there.
It is, yeah. He could defend though. He came as a midfielder, Lauren.
Yeah.
And slot back at right back and won a league unbeaten.
Not to say my bias is coming through, but very, very underrated. I think people don't often consider him in conversations or these conversations. So
no, he came as a midfielder,
and
ended up being right back and made that position his own.
Yeah.
Just at the end of Dixon's career, I think.
Yeah, and it's also what some of the Arsenal players who played in those teams at the time say about him as well, just in terms of very good on the ball, but also hard as nails, hard as anything.
Yeah.
And
well, you know the Battle of Old Trafford. It was someone was messing with Lauren. I'm not sure if it was David Seaman or someone who was commenting on it afterwards. And it's like, I wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mess around with him at all. Like,
yeah, I don't think people really realise outside of Arsenal circles.
Yeah.
Anyway, left backs: Leighton Baines or Luke Shaw?
Baines.
Baines or John Arne Risa?
Risa.
Risa or João Cancelo?
Who did João Cancelo play for?
He now plays in Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
but you remember?
Of course, yeah.
João Cancelo, obviously played at City, who I put in my Premier League team, best team of all time.
Was he Saudi Arabia now?
He's in Saudi Arabia.
It was only at loan at Barca, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think they wanted to bring him back.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
Was he going to fail the drugs test? Sorry, who was it? Who or Cancelo?
You went with John Arne Risa, didn't you? John Arne Risa or João Cancelo?
Risa.
Risa or Phil Neville?
Risa.
Risa or Graham Lasso?
Risa.
Risa or Nigel Winterburn?
Risa.
Risa or Dennis Irwin?
Irwin.
Irwin or Patrice Evra?
Evra.
Evra or Andy Robertson?
Evra.
Evra or Ashley Cole?
Evra.
Genuinely?
Genuinely.
Is that any bias showing through as well, or?
No. I know Arsenal fans aren't the biggest fan of Ashley Cole because of his move and that sort of thing. I just think Evra was quality.
Fair enough.
Going forward and defensively.
I don't dispute that. I just think it's quite clear for me that Ashley Cole is the best left back and the best Premier League fullback of all time.
See that? Have you seen the clip? Because he was on the that Sky Sports podcast. Ever talking about him and Ashley Cole when they was coaching together.
I haven't seen the clip. No.
Yeah, no. Because they were saying there was always Sam. Oh, who's the best between the two of them? And he was like, oh, we're just both good defenders, both good at what we do.
Yeah.
But when Evra got there, you had Gabriel Heinze,
Yeah.
who was quality.
Yeah.
And he ousted him.
Where he took. I've seen, because Evra was also on the Stick to Football, Gary Neville's podcast on Sky, and him saying that he really struggled to adapt when he first came. But again, it's a testament to how he then came through, because he really struggled in the first 6 months to a year at United, and then obviously he did what he did and made that position his own for a significant amount of time.
I don't ever recall seeing Evra make a mistake.
Fair enough. It was only when
I don't think Ashley Cole made a mistake either, but I just
No.
think, like, you think of what the United team won.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
So-
it's fair enough. And if I had to say the best Premier League fullback, so between Evra and Lauren, who would you say?
yeah, it'd be Evra.
Fair enough.
I couldn't give that to Lauren.
No, that's yeah.
I mean,
Really
arguably,
impressive
yeah,
say.
it probably is Ashley Cole, but I'm saying Evra.
No bias at all. I'm joking. Centre halves: William Saliba or Gabriel?
Saliba.
Saliba or William Gallas?
Saliba.
Saliba or Gary Cahill?
Saliba.
Saliba or Jamie Carragher?
Saliba.
Saliba or Marcel Desailly?
Desai.
Desailly or Ledley King?
See, that's tough because King was quality. He was just really injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
But because of his injury prone, I'm going to go Desai.
Desailly or Sami Hyypiä?
Desai.
Desailly or Kolo Toure?
Desai.
Desailly or John Stones?
Johnny Stone's like, it's got a goal.
Zipped all the way up to the top. Double, double, double. No, I'm joking. Johnny Stones or Ruben Diaz?
Diaz.
Diaz or Ricardo Carvalho?
See the Chelsea lad, wasn't
Yeah, with John Terry. Only conceded 15 goals in the
he?
04.
You've just answered that question for me. Carvalho.
Carvalho or Virgil van Dijk?
Carvalho.
Carvalho or Vincent Kompany?
Company.
Kompany or Vidic?
Vidic.
Vidic or Yap Stam?
Vidic.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yap Stam was quality, but he wasn't in the Premier League as long as Vidic.
He won the league in each of those 3 seasons. He was
Yeah,
only in the league for 3 years.
Yeah, and then when they shipped him out, they lost. Didn't they? They brought
Yep,
in Laurent Blanc.
Yeah, and again, does that not reinforce the argument of how good Yep Stam was?
Yeah, but Vidic was there for how many seasons? And how many leagues did he win whilst he was there?
I imagine it was more than 3, or it probably would have been more than 3. So yeah, but I'm just saying.
Well
the
then,
impact.
your argument's moot.
Fair enough. Well, it's your, like I say, it's your opinion. Yeah.
I didn't think I had to explain anything. That's what you said at the
Yeah,
beginning.
no,
You just have to pick. That's all you have to
I'm
do.
just surprised you went with that.
pick.
Okay. Vidic or Tony Adams?
Really? We've got some more.
Yeah.
Like, can Tony Adams not be in the other category? Like,
What other category?
you said centre half. There's got to be 2, right?
No, this is best centre half of all time in the Premier League.
So there's no 2 centre halves. I thought he was doing
I
a
just
team.
want you to name exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Challenging. I like it. he wants to say Tony Adams.
I do want to say Tony
So
Adams.
Just say
like-
Tony Adams.
Yeah, Tony Adams. He was a quality defender.
But was he better than Vidic?
Well, he is now.
Okay. You going Tony Adams?
Yeah.
Tony Adams or Sol Campbell?
Tony Adams.
Tony Adams or Rio Ferdinand?
Tony Adams.
Tony Adams or John Terry?
Adams.
Okay, just out of a point of interest, because
Is that the end of it?
that is the end of it. That is the end of it. So,
Yeah.
out of a point of interest, because you took that long deciding between Tony Adams and Vidic or Sol Campbell?
Probably Vidic.
Vidic or Ferdinand?
See, they complemented each other, so
I know,
it's
it's difficult.
you take one away, the other struggles. So I'll go Ferdinand.
Ferdinand or John Terry?
I'll go Ferdinand because you called me Brexit Steve at the beginning, and if I go John Terry, I'll be in a lot of trouble.
Fair enough. Before we move on, there are a couple of names that I excluded only because I know. So obviously your memories of the Premier League. What are your earliest memories of the Premier League? Do you know roughly what year, what season?
No.
But if I were to say Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, because obviously those are two names that I could have included.
Don't really remember them. They were there for the very beginning of the Premier League.
Yeah,
but
that's why I didn't include them, because obviously to give your opinion, you would also have had to have watched a lot of them, and I don't think it would have been fair to include those two. Likewise, Paul Ince. So when we come to central midfielders, which we'll come into in a minute, do you remember seeing much of Paul Ince, or was it?
So Paul Ince, he was Liverpool, Wolves, and Middlesbrough when I watched. I don't really recall him. The only thing I remember him being at Man United was getting the season 94 Panini sticker book, and Paul Ince being in the United squad for that. Other than that, that's all I can really remember.
That's why I excluded him anyway.
I didn't realise I was only doing one centre half, but I think the problem with this is now people look at it not just. I'm looking at it as like a defender,
a partnership.
Well, the partnership, but also as a defender. Like, so as your defenders, it's Tony Adams, John Terry, Vidic and Ferdinand in your top four in whatever order you want to put them. But Tony Adams used to organise that Arsenal back four.
So if you had to go, based on what you said, it would be Tony Adams and Rio Ferdinand as a partnership.
Yeah, or John Terry.
Well, as you said, any four, yeah.
John Terry's defending was really good, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, again, that record, that Chelsea team,
exactly,
is unbelievable. I don't think it's talked about enough. Besides, outside of Chelsea fans, I don't think it's talked about enough.
And they did it with Wayne Bridge.
Okay, midfielders. More of the defensive mind first before we come to attacking ones.
Oh, so we're doing two lots of midfielders, but not two lots of centre halves.
No, centre halves, same position. Midfielders,
legs.
defensive or attacking.
You got left centre half, right centre half.
I only care about one centre half at the moment.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Get him.
I designed it.
Get
what
him.
do you mean?
On your comments, only one centre half? Nah.
They're already going to get me for whatever noise it was. I didn't even know what it was.
Definitely been watching that film.
It's a very good film, to be fair.
It is a good film, yeah.
Right. Centre midfielders, more holding midfielders. Gareth Barry or Jordan Henderson?
Barry.
Barry or Nemanja Matic?
Barry.
Barry or James Milner?
He's a holding midfielder.
I say he's not really a holding midfielder, but I put him box to box, defensive minded.
Barry.
Gareth Barry or Fernandinho?
Fernandinho
or Michael Essien?
Essien
or Xabi Alonso?
Alonso.
Xabi Alonso or Michael Carrick?
See, I'd argue that Alonso wasn't as a holding midfielder, but when you're asking between Essien and Alonso, I wouldn't say Essien's.
It's the different types, because it's like one's box to box and one's holding but technical.
So I'm going to go Carrick.
Carrick or N'Golo Kante? Kante or Yaya Toure? Again, Yaya Toure, by the way, is including the attacking midfielders as well, because he did everything. So.
Well, he's going to miss out for both. Kante. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but there you go.
Kante or Gilberto Silva?
Gilberto Silva, very underrated.
Gilberto Silva or Rodri? Really? Okay, yeah. I'm not ask.
Again, he's probably not as underrated, but I can't have Arsenal bias showing through, and Rodri's won a hell of a lot more than what Gilberto has at Arsenal.
Arguably is deserving of this year's Ballon d'Or. Not that I think he's going to win it now, because it looks like Vinicius Junior is going to win it, but to be in that conversation. Yeah. Rodri or Claude Makelele? Makelele or Patrick Vieira? Vieira or Roy Keane?
Keane.
I knew you were going to say it. Because at the time on the tube, you said the same thing when we were discussing the United and Arsenal sides.
Well, at least I'm consistent.
Any particular reason? I can tell by your face. I don't want to say it, but...
You know my feelings on Man United. Nothing but love. Arguably, when they played, it became between the two of them.
Yeah.
Who would win the mind games and who would edge it. And remember the one at Highbury. Like Vieira got into Gary Neville before the game, didn't he? You know, see you out there
in the tunnel. Yeah.
And yeah, I think first half was 2-2, wasn't it? And then they took it on from there.
But O'Shea scored to dink at the end to make it 4-2, didn't he?
Yeah.
So are you saying that out of the battles between Vieira and Roy Keane won more of them?
Well, they won more leagues. They won a Champions League. They did a treble.
Yeah.
Whilst Vieira was still at the club, so we won the league unbeaten. That's all you got.
And we will hold on to it.
Yeah, but again, different philosophies and all this. There's many different factors in there.
I know.
So, but yeah, Keane.
Keane. Keane.
Ooh!
My floor is still wet. Anyway, central midfielders, more of the attacking kind. Luka Modric or Santi Cazorla? Modric or Juan Mata? Ooh. Talking specifically again about the Premier League era.
Mata then, if we're talking about Premier League era.
Mata or Mesut Ozil?
Mata
or Martin Odegaard?
Mata
or Phil Foden?
Mata
or David Silva?
David Silva
or Cesc Fabregas?
David Silva
or Yaya Toure?
David Silva
or Frank Lampard?
Lampard
or Steven Gerrard?
Gerrard
or Paul Scholes?
Attacking, right?
Yeah.
Scholes.
Paul Scholes or Kevin De Bruyne?
De Bruyne.
Now, I've included these three in this section, but they could also be included as centre-forwards, strikers, which I've done for two of them anyway, but I'm just going to say them now only because they were creative players. De Bruyne or Gianfranco Zola?
De Bruyne
or Dennis Bergkamp?
De Bruyne
or Eric Cantona?
De Bruyne.
You went De Bruyne over Bergkamp?
Yeah, because Bergkamp's a striker, not a midfielder.
That's fine, we'll come to them later anyway, but I thought I'd just include them because...
Bergkamp probably won't win in the strikers either, but...
No, but he is one of the ones towards
I can't pick Bergkamp for an attacking midfield role when it's really an attacking midfield role.
Fair enough. And so you're saying that De Bruyne is the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League's ever seen?
Out of the list you gave me, yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Didn't include Ian Robin, though.
Ian Robin's right midfielder, which we're going to come to. But first we've got left midfielders. So let's do left midfielders. Only 3 categories left now, don't you worry. I'm enjoying this.
No.
Right, left midfielders. Harry Kewell or Raheem Sterling?
Sterling.
Midfielders, wingers.
Yeah.
Same position. Raheem Sterling, Son Heung-min?
Sterling.
Raheem Sterling or Alexis Sanchez? Sanchez or Leroy Sané? Sané or David Ginola? Ginola or Eden Hazard? Hazard or Gareth Bale? Bale or Mark Overmars? Bale or Robert Pires?
Bale.
I like the video recording now as well because we can clearly tell from your face that it's hurting. Gareth Bale or Sadio Mane? Mane or Ryan Giggs?
Just on Premier League, right?
Just on Premier League.
Not on personality and stuff outside of the Premier League, right?
No, just on Premier League. Giggs or Cristiano Ronaldo? Yeah, that's that one done.
Good. So I was going to say, because we're talking about outside, Mane wins that all day long because he builds schools and hospitals and all that sort of thing.
I know.
So,
yeah. Right midfielders. Not many here, but do them anyway.
Did Hazard not play on the right, though? You put him on the left side, but I thought he played on the right.
Hazard played on the left, predominantly, but we can include him on the right because I am going to ask you to compare
No, it's
him.
fine. I got my stuff wrong. That's fine.
No. Well, I still want to compare him to one of the players who plays on the right.
Mo Salah?
On this list. Yeah.
Shock.
Which we'll come to. Riyad Mahrez or Steve McManaman?
McManaman.
How much did you see of McManaman? Because again, that was one that I nearly left out as well. Was that slightly before or?
I remember seeing a couple of highlights here and there, and he was class, and that's why he went to Real Madrid. And then I was going to say he retired at Madrid. He didn't. He came back to City for a season or so, but yeah, he was quality. I think he scored a goal in the final for Champions League.
Yeah, the volley against Valencia, wasn't it? Which was a really good goal in itself, but then
Yeah.
to scored it in the final.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because that's where I imagine you would have seen him more play for Madrid than Liverpool, because I think he was at Liverpool obviously before he went to Madrid, and when he was at Liverpool was the start of the Premier League, if I remember rightly. I said
Yeah,
remember rightly, if
well,
I'm correct.
you're looking at 96, I think.
Yeah,
But we didn't have like Sky and
No,
all that sort of
okay.
thing growing up, so we
Yeah.
didn't. And technology, making myself sound really old, didn't have all the apps, couldn't check all the Spanish games that easily.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on outside of my bedroom, really.
Fair enough. Steve McManaman or Freddie Ljungberg?
McManaman,
Steve McManaman or Iron Robin?
Robin,
Robin or David Beckham?
Robin,
Robin or Mo Salah?
Robin.
I would disagree with that, but your opinion. Mo Salah or Eden Hazard?
Salah.
Are you basing that on numbers or are you basing that on pure ability? Not that I disagree. That's where the debate comes into, because you base it on numbers, obviously it's Salah all day long.
No, not on numbers. I'm basing it on when I've watched games and they've been speaking about the two of them, who's actually impacted the game more. Salah
enough.
seems to impact the game more when they need him to than what Hazard did.
Yeah.
I know there was a League Cup game where all the talk was between Salah and Hazard scored that really good goal, but that was League Cup.
But yeah, exactly. The biggest
Right.
moments. Yeah. Strikers, which is
One or two?
just the one.
Just the one.
Just the one. This is the one that I'm looking forward to the most, hence why the list is the longest. So, starting off, Lukaku or Robbie Keane?
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane or Jermaine Defoe?
Defoe.
Defoe or Jamie Vardy?
Defoe.
Defoe or Diego Costa?
Defoe.
Defoe or Matt Letizia?
Letizia.
Letizia or Les Ferdinand?
Letizia.
Letizia or Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank?
Letis.
Letizia or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Letis.
Letizia or Teddy Sheringham?
Letis.
Letizia or Robin Van Persie?
Letis.
Letizia or Ian Wright?
Right.
Ian Wright, Nicholas Anelka?
Anelka.
Anelka or Robbie Fowler?
Fowler.
Fowler or Fernando Torres?
Torres.
Torres or Luis Suarez? That's why I put them in this list, because I know exactly your reactions. Put them in the order, I mean.
How long we got for this recording?
I feel like I should put like a 3-second time limit on it, even though it's the last list now. But
You need the old chess clock.
yeah.
Ooh.
It's like you're contemplating life over there.
I am. I just keep seeing this goal Torres scored against Blackburn, I think it was. Yeah. And just remembering how difficult he was to defend against for United. That Vidic-Ferdinand pairing.
Yeah.
There was another goal when United went there, and he just bodied Ferdinand and then stuck it in the top corner against Van der Sar. So
But Luis Suarez, even for Liverpool.
I know he came and had a good bite at it, didn't he? I'm gonna go Torres.
I thought you might. Yeah.
You don't know how close it was though. Honestly,
I think I bloody do. Yeah. Yeah. Fernando Torres and Michael Owen.
Torres.
Torres or Erling Haaland.
Before we get to that, did you see Ferdinand's comments about Michael Owen on a podcast?
I didn't know.
Oh, we'll talk about it after.
Well, we can say it now.
It's basically saying that he was underrated at Liverpool and that the strikers can't emulate what he did and stuff like that. And it was a bit, I think it's a little bit clickbaity, because I don't get me wrong, Owen was quality, but yeah, it was. I'll have to see if I can try and find it, because it only came up as a clip of one of the podcasts he does. But yeah, obviously I'm going to go Erling Haaland as a goal scorer.
Erling Haaland or Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy or Didier Drogba.
Van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy or Dwight York.
Van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy, Andy Cole.
Andy Cole.
Andy Cole, Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, Alan Shearer.
Kane.
Kane or Wayne Rooney.
Kane.
Kane or Eric Cantona.
Kane.
Kane or Dennis Bergkamp.
Bergkamp.
Bergkamp or Thierry Henry.
Henry.
No hesitation. The last two. No hesitation between Bergkamp and Henry.
I'm not going to choose Harry Kane over Dennis Bergkamp.
No, I'm not talking about Harry Kane over Dennis Bergkamp. I'm talking about Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry. I'm surprised that you chose Harry Kane above the likes of Shearer and Rooney. Again, not saying that I disagree, but obviously
Well,
how much
we're
you
talking
rate
about
Harry Kane.
We're talking about Premier League players, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
not necessarily thinking about what they've won or anything
I
like
don't
that.
care about that. I'm talking about
Because
based
if
on pure
Kane had
ability on
gone
their own.
to City, he'd have won something. If Kane, well, no, he wouldn't have won anything. He'd gone to United. If he'd gone to City, he'd have won something. Alan Shearer didn't win the Premier League at Newcastle. Won one with Blackburn. Again, if he'd gone to United, he'd have all those medals that like the likes of Keane has. So, and they're different sort of styles of play as well, aren't they? Kane and Shearer. I know we're saying strikers, and with Bergkamp, I can't have Bergkamp as being the greatest Premier League striker of all time. Most people, when it comes to strikers, they say it's Henry.
Yeah.
Like Bergkamp was a different class to what he could do. Like the passing, the holding the ball, the creating himself some space.
But that's why I included him in the attacking midfielder category, because I understand your argument. You can't put him as the best striker. I know Dad will disagree, but you can't put him as the best striker if you're basing it purely on goal scoring ability alone.
Dad.
Because he didn't even score 100 Premier League. I say he didn't even score. He didn't score 100 Premier League goals, and most of the people on this list have scored 100 Premier League goals.
Some have scored 200.
Exactly, Harry Kane included. But it's different things, isn't it? If you judge it on a different category, if you were to just say...
I don't think it's 200 Premier League goals, by the way. Just 200 goals.
What, for Kane?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he scored 200 Premier League goals.
What's the record? What's Shearer's record?
260.
Is it?
Shearer's on 260. Rooney is on 200 and something. And I'm pretty sure Harry Kane got past 200, yeah.
Do you remember that comment on Match of the Day of Ian Wright and Shearer? And it was like, oh, what's that 200 club like? And Shearer went lonely.
No, I don't remember that, but it doesn't surprise me that he said that. So if I were to say who you think the best Premier League player of all time is, just based on pure ability, who would you say?
Massimo Taibbi. Best Premier League player of all time? Well, again, I'm biased, but I haven't gone and watched him all the time. It'd be Henry for me,
So, but
probably.
then if you were to compare, so that's what I'm saying, if you're comparing Henry and Bergkamp based on pure ability alone, I'm not talking about goal scoring records. Again, I'm not talking about numbers, just based on what you think makes a good Premier League, a good footballer, not even a good Premier League footballer. What you think makes the best.
But they're two different things. If you pay to go and watch football, you guys be entertained. Bergkamp was entertained in a different way. Like if you don't know sort of about technical ability, which let's face it, most of us don't.
Yeah.
But that's what Bergkamp had. But Henry would pick up the ball, beat a few players, do something different, or like the goal at Man United, the ball's played into his feet, flicks it up, and then volleys it top corner. Like you go to see these things, you guys be entertained. Thomas Frank will be on the side. I was going, don't shoot from distance. That's a week's wages. I don't care if he scored. So yeah, obviously the argument would be with like Cristiano Ronaldo, but his best
Was it Madrid?
Yeah, and he still had a real. I mean, how many goals did he score that one season?
40 odd. That's when he won the Ballon d'Or, because they won the Ballon d'Or in 2008 in the 07-08 United teams, which is rightly regarded as one of the best Premier League teams of all time, and also won the Champions League.
What's like when they talk about United's front three of Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez?
Yeah.
I sort of think, don't forget about Berbatov.
No, yeah.
You've forgotten about Berbatov.
Oh, I didn't include him in this. I didn't include Tevez in this, but there were that many
Didn't
names
include
that I
Aguero.
could have included. Oh, I was meant to have included Aguero. I made a mistake. I can't believe I've done that. Oh, we're going to have to do that again.
Oh, what sort of
list.
podcast is this?
Okay, so I'm just going to ask it based on a few names, because Aguero was meant to come and he's meant to come towards the end, which is a shocking mistake on my part. So Aguero or Luis Suarez? Aguero or Harry Kane? Aguero or Dennis Bergkamp? Again, different sorts of players. Aguero or Thierry
Henry.
I thought, again, knowing what you've said in previous conversations, that you might have said that. I can't believe I left Aguero out. That's an awful error.
And this is why we're the Casual Fans podcast.
But I looked at Berbatov, because when I was making the list, and I thought I could include him, but he's not going to rank that high. Obviously, a really good centre forward, but he's not going to rank that high in this list. There was another name that I thought about as well. But anyway, yeah, Aguero, I can't believe I left him out.
Berbatov was quality, though.
I know.
Even at United. I I've seen some. Have you seen that clip of his goal when he's at Bayer Leverkusen? He brings the ball down over his shoulder, and so
Just a
nonchalant,
touch. Yeah.
like,
yeah.
and how he gets it to just go up and dip. Oh yeah,
I know.
Berbatov should have been in there. Oh, he was quality.
Yeah, I know. But just
He
based on the touch.
played in slow motion.
Yeah. Again, it's if you're going to compare him to players, it would be that Cantona, Bergkamp ilk. Not saying that he was as good as those, but first touch and again technical ability.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think he could pass the ball like Bergkamp could.
No.
But finding space, oh yeah.
Yeah, just made it look effortless.
I think I don't know why. I just think he was probably a bit underrated, even at United.
Well, I think
Maybe not by United fans.
no, but I've read. I can't remember if Alex Ferguson actually said this, or I've read it somewhere that people at United fans, Fergie, didn't think that Berbatov lived up to the price tag that they paid for him, which was £30 million. So wasn't as good as he was at United when he was at Tottenham. So he wasn't as good as which I would tend to disagree with, only because of some of the goals that he scored for United. Obviously, did win things at United. It's a little bit surprising.
Yeah, he was a better option than Saha, though, wasn't he?
Well, Saha was always injured when he was at United.
There was Saha on that list as well.
Yeah, I haven't got Saha on it. There's too many. I still can't believe I left out Aguero.
And Kanu.
Yeah.
And Good Johnson.
Good Johnson's another good shout.
And
many names.
Milan Barros.
Not including Milan. To be fair, I included Harry Kewell, so maybe I should have included Milan Barros.
Who else have you left out?
Quite a few.
Danny Ings. Can't believe he's not there. Craig Bellamy. He never made an appearance.
Peter Crouch.
Yeah, Peter Crouch scored a hat-trick against us.
Yeah.
We
We could do this all day.
What's the lad that played at Portsmouth and then didn't want to go to City and Redknapp was like, no, you're going.
Benjani.
Benjani, yes.
That one.
Yeah. Loire.
Just for the backflips. Obafemi Martins, just for the backflips.
No, he scored a winner against us for Birmingham.
Oh yeah,
When,
in the League Cup. Yeah.
When Koscielny couldn't clear a ball.
Koscielny and do you see Szczesny's going to Barcelona? He retired in the summer because he was out of Thiago Motta's plans at Juve, and now because Ter Stegen's done his knee ligaments and he's going to be out for the season, he's come back out of retirement just to go and play for Barcelona for a year.
Oh, nice.
Not a bad life.
Yeah, not bad. Could be Scott Carson.
Even better. Yeah. That's all I had to say on that, though. I say grilling, it was... You might get grilled, depending on the clips that I do.
Well, I won't, because I won't read it. Yeah. I'm sure you'll tell me about it.
Yeah.
Right. Don't go at your ass tonight, Steve.
It's all a matter of opinions, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
People are entitled to think what they want, and it's what different footballers produce and what that means, what you see it, how you see it in your own eyes, isn't it? So, yeah. Anyway.
And you're going to see it from a bias, depending on what team you support.
Exactly.
As much as you try not to.
Yeah, which obviously you referenced at occasional points when I've given you Arsenal players, but it's difficult because those were also players that you watch more naturally.
Yeah, because you wanted to go and watch
Exactly, because you're going to watch your team. So, yeah. Have you got any more to add? You want to add anything?
No, I don't think so.
Good.
We'll just leave it down to Aguero.
I can't believe I forgot his name.
Is that what you were doing earlier?
Well,
maybe that was a subconscious thing earlier. Ooh, Aguero.
And on that note, thank you ever so much for joining me. Thank you everyone for listening. Again, if you made it this far on the YouTube video, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Always get involved. Likewise on the clips, because I love engaging with people just talking about football. So yeah, you shall hear us and see us on the next one.